Evergreen Yogasanas. This is a presentation on advanced yogasanas by Dr. K.V. Rajshekhar. He is a professor and the head of Department of Radio Diagnosis at Meenakshi Medical College. He is also the dean in charge. He has an avid interest in yoga and has been practicing yoga for the past many years. Even as he nears 60 years of age, and with his busy schedule and many commitments, his passion for yoga has not allowed him to leave this practice. Many people spend their health gaining wealth and then spend their wealth regaining their health. This has always remained true. Us as human beings never give our bodies their due while growing up and then we regret later. For a more complete and holistic well-being, the wise thing to do is to keep health and wealth together, going hand in hand. But the question is, how? Benefits of yogasanas. Yogasanas are the key to developing not only the body but also the subtler layers of the mind. Try yoga today so that you can perform mental functions better and with greater ease. Not just now but also later in life. You can get a calm mind or at least a calmer one. Yogasanas help to retard the aging process, are useful in treating asthma, all types of backache. They improve concentration, help to treat depression, hypertension, menstrual issues, migraine. They are useful for weight loss as well as for weight gain. The first asana demonstrated is the Tadasana, also known as the palm tree pose. The Tadasana brings stability in the body, helps to clear up congestion of the spinal nerves and corrects faulty posture. Next we have Chalana Kriya, which are routine warm-up exercises performed before undertaking more advanced asanas. The first exercise is sideward bending, first as seen on the right side and then the left side. The second exercise is known as the spinal twist. First on the right side and then again on the left side. These exercises help in stretching the spine and are routine exercises before performing more advanced asanas. Next we have the Indian sitting pose, also known to represent a fetus in a womb. This pose is a universal flexion of all joints and ligaments in the body. Next we have the Bhadrasana. This asana has a multitude of benefits. It stimulates the abdominal and pelvic organs, the heart, improves general circulation. As evident by the pose, it stretches the thighs, groin and knees. Next we have the Titli Asana, also known as the butterfly pose. This is a variation of the previously demonstrated Bhadrasana with flapping movements of the lower limb. Bhadrasana and Titli Asana. Additionally, it is important to note that the demonstrator, Dr. K.V. Rajshekhar, is himself not in the pink of his health. Apart from being in his early 60s, he is suffering from a numerous number of ailments. As evident in this report, from 7 years back, he was diagnosed with rotator cuff tear, biceps tendinosis rupture, subacromial impingement, for which he underwent even surgery. Additionally, carpal tunnel syndrome in his right hand and medial meniscus tear in the knee. The following are a series of MRI images taken very recently. These are post-operative images after corrective shoulder surgery, showing the same findings in the shoulder: subacromial impingement, rotator cuff tear, as well as biceps tendinosis rupture. As far as the spine goes, we can see disc prolapse at 2 levels in the cervical spine. These are MRI images of the dorsal spine showing disc prolapse at 4 levels. And in the lumbar spine, we can see disc prolapse at 2 levels, along with anterolisthesis of L4 over L5 vertebral body. Despite his ailments, yoga has remained an important part of Sir's life, and his passion for the exercise remains undeterred. Now we will show the Janu Sirsasana, also known as the head to knee pose. This asana is done on both sides, first on the right side and then switching over to the left side. This asana will stimulate the entire body, stretching the knees and ligaments of the lower limb as well as the spine. Now we will demonstrate the Padmasana, also known as the lotus pose. The Padmasana helps in relaxation, concentration, and ultimately meditation. It is done in two variations, with the right leg above the left and with the left leg above the right. This is the Padmasana. This posture creates a natural balance throughout the body and mind. Here it is done first with the right leg atop and then the left leg atop. This is a photo of Sir attempting the same asana 30 years back. The next asana is the Utthita Padmasana. It is a variation of the Padmasana. This, along with the benefits of the Padmasana, strengthens the arms and improves concentration and energizes the body. The demonstrator will now demonstrate the Yoga Mudrasana. He will assume a sitting position and then bend forward, thereby stretching his spine. The Yoga Mudrasana allows stretching of the spine as well as strengthens the hips, the joints of the lower limb, and those of the upper limb. It redirects blood flow to the head. Next we have the Bhujangasana, also known as the Cobra pose. This is useful for strengthening the neck and back muscles. It helps the thyroid gland to function properly, aligns the spinal discs, energizes the lung, heart, and abdomen. It relieves back pain, asthma, acidity, ulcers, indigestion, and hemorrhoids. It relieves breathlessness, vertigo, menstrual problems, and menopausal problems. Reduces body weight, corrects a double chin, and a hunched back. This is the Bhujangasana. This is a photo of Sir attempting the same asana from 10 years back. Now we have the Shalabhasana, also known as the grasshopper pose. It is the backward lift of both legs while prone. The demonstrator first lifts his right and then his left leg and will then attempt to lift both legs. The Shalabhasana, besides strengthening the muscles of the upper legs and lower back, stimulates the abdomen and strengthens the spine. These asanas may seem difficult to the uninitiated, but with regular practice will become easier and provide all health benefits. This is the Shalabhasana. The next demonstrated asana is the Dhanurasana, also known as the bow pose. The asana requires the demonstrator to hold his ankles behind his back while prone, thus elevating himself. The most obvious benefit of the Dhanurasana is that it restores flexibility of the spine. Regular practice will relieve lower back pain and releases tension and strain in the upper back. The alternating stretching and releasing of the abdominal muscles increases blood flow to this area and aids all sorts of digestive disorders. Strain or fatigue in the legs is also released after a few repetitions. This asana enhances lung capacity, elasticity of the spine, and stimulates the abdomen. This is the to and fro rocking movement of the Dhanurasana. It refreshes the brain, pituitary gland, Heart stabilizes emotions, relieves asthma, back pain, shoulder pain, ankle and leg pain. It relieves diabetes, hemorrhoids, menstrual and menopausal problems. Reduces fat. Next we have the Paschimotthasana, or the forward bending of the spine. The asana stretches the hamstrings, the biceps femoris, the semitendinosus, the semimembranosus. If the legs are pulled back a little, the gastrocnemius and soleus Achilles tendon are also stretched. This asana refreshes the brain and mind, rejuvenates the spine and massages the abdomen. The Paschimotthasana. Next we have the Setu Bandhasana, also known as the bridge pose. It strengthens the back, the pelvis and the hamstrings. It relieves stress and mild depression. It stretches the chest, neck, spine and hips. This is the Setu Bandha Asana. Next we have the Hal Asana, also known as the plow pose, where the legs must be pulled over the head while supine. In this pose, all the muscles and ligaments in the calves and thighs are stretched, resulting in greater leg flexibility. People suffering from leg cramps will find great relief from the Hal Asana. Since the abdominal area is contracted, blood compressed out of this area releases toxins, and when the contraction is released, the area is flooded with richly oxygenated blood. The contraction also helps to release gas and stimulates a sluggish digestive system. Similar effects take place as the neck and chest area is compressed, affecting the throat, thyroid, parathyroid, and lungs. The Hal Asana. This is a photo from 30 years back showing the Karna Pind Asana, which is a variation of the Hal Asana. Next, sir will be attempting the Pavan Muktasana. This asana strengthens the abdominal muscles. It cures constipation, indigestion, and acidity. It massages the intestines and stimulates the internal organs of the digestive system. This rocking movement is important in the Pavan Muktasana. Now we will see the Mayurasana, also known as the peacock pose. In this asana, the whole body must be elevated with the support of the hands and palms. This is a very important asana with many benefits like improving concentration, increasing blood flow to the face, thereby increasing youthfulness. It strengthens the muscles of the arms, and regular practice of this asana is supposed to prolong life expectancy. It truly rejuvenates you. The Mayurasana. This is a modification of the Mayurasana, a photo from 30 years back. Now we have the Vajrasana, also known as the diamond pose. It is a versatile posture well suited for meditation, rest in between other seated asanas, or as an aid to digestion. Vajrasana is the first step in various other yoga postures. Next demonstrated is the Shashankasana, also known as the rabbit pose. This improves blood supply to the head. It nourishes the eyes, relieves fatigue, and improves concentration. This pose is followed by the now demonstrated backward bending of the Balasana, also known as the child pose. It is one of the more relaxing yoga postures and can be easily done by beginners. As a part of your yoga routine, it is best used as a counter pose to any other posture, the Balasana. Next we have the Ustrasana, also known as the camel pose. The breathing exercises in this pose that will now be demonstrated increases the lung volume. It is good for flexibility of the spine. Regular practice will relieve lower back pain and release tension and strain in the upper back and neck area. Now sir shall demonstrate the Sarvangasana, also known as the shoulder stand pose or the queen of asanas. Sarv Ang means all parts, so it is the asana for all parts of the body. The Sarvangasana is considered to be the most beneficial of all yoga postures. Because of its many benefits, if you find limited time in the course of a yoga practice at home, it is recommended to do this asana. It strengthens the back and relieves lower back pain. The increased blood flow to the head and upper body helps to heal many disorders such as headaches, nasal congestion, and sore throat. The entire endocrine, digestive, nervous, and venous system of the body are stimulated in ways that no diet or conventional exercise can perform. This is a photo from 30 years back showing a variation of the Sarvangasana. Next demonstrated is the Matsyasana, also known as the fish pose. The Matsyasana creates a great expansion and stretching of the chest, which helps relieve upper respiratory congestion as well as benefits the heart. Additionally, the sinuses are drained and opened from the inversion of the head, stretching of the neck, and pressure placed on top of the head. The thyroid and parathyroid glands are stimulated as well. This is the Matsyasana. This next asana that is going to be demonstrated is the Shirshasana, the headstand, also known as the king of asanas. The headstand or Shirshasana is perhaps the most well-known yoga postures. Its physical and mental benefits derive both from emphasis on balance and the body's inverted position. The greatest physical benefits of the Shirshasana are to the neck, spine, and brain. Regular practice of this posture adds suppleness to the spine and increases flow of blood to the brain. It enhances poise and balance and relieves stress and tension in the lower portions of the body. The benefits of the Shirshasana are not only physical, mental benefits are also plentiful. This next asana is known as the Ardha Matsyendra Asana, also the half spinal twist pose. It is one of the best yoga postures for cultivating flexibility and strength in the spine. It soothes stiff necks and upper back tension caused by stress, poor posture, or prolonged periods of sitting in one position. The alternating compression and release of abdominal muscles flushes this area with blood and massages the internal organs. Muscles of the stomach and hips are also toned from repeated practice of the half spinal twist. This next asana is known as the Vrikshasana, also the tree posture. This asana brings stability in the body, helps to clear up congestion of the spinal nerves, corrects faulty posture. It helps to increase height up to a certain age, the Vrikshasana. It is interesting to note that in the Vrikshasana, the demonstrator or anyone performing this asana must stand on their toes. Now we shall see the Trikonasana. This asana is an excellent posture to do during your routine. Sideward bending first towards the right side and then towards the left side helps to stretch and relax the back, shoulders, legs, arms as well as increases the flow of blood to the head. The excess fat in the waist is reduced. The slight twist of the spine creates suppleness in the spinal discs and relieves lower back discomfort. This next asana is known as the Padhastasana. Its benefits are similar to the Paschimottanasana. It gives a good shape to your body, apart from stretching your spine, your lower leg, your upper limbs, and also the breathing exercises during this asana will provide a suppleness to your mind and body. Such bending of the spine even after having so many levels of vertebral prolapse is truly remarkable. Now Sir shall demonstrate the Ardha Chakrasana. It refreshes the brain, calms the mind, builds confidence, emotional stability. It corrects a hunched back, rounded shoulders, prolapse of pelvic organs. It relieves back pain, asthma, diabetes, menstrual and menopausal problems, improves organ function, energy, reduces weight and removes excess fat. This is a photo from 10 years back showing the Chakrasana. Now sir shall demonstrate a series of abdominal movements known as the Udayana and Nauli. The Udayana massages the abdomen, stimulates associated nerves, strengthens the muscles, and encourages optimal health of abdominal organs. It massages the abdominal viscera, solar plexus, heart, and lungs. It stimulates blood pressure and blood circulation in the abdomen. It improves digestion, assimilation, and purifies the digestive tract of toxins. Udayana is of two types, Udayana Bandha and Udayana Agnisara. In Udayana Bandha, the lungs are empty and the abdomen is pulled inwards and upwards under the lower edge of the rib cage. The second exercise of the abdomen is known as Nauli Kriya. Through regular practice, you will be able to isolate the rectus abdominal muscle and churn these muscles in a clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. Nauli Kriya strengthens and tones the abdominal muscles. It reduces heartburn, regulates and stimulates digestion. Nauli Kriya is of three types, Madhyama Nauli, Dakshin Nauli and Vama Nauli. Madhyama Nauli, in this practice, only the central muscles of the abdomen are contracted. Vama Nauli, in this, only the left muscles of the abdomen are contracted. Dakshina Nauli, in this, only the right muscles of the abdomen are contracted. This last posture is the Shavasana, also known as the corpse pose. While many consider this a simple posture at first, its simplicity eventually proves to be deceiving. The goal of the Shavasana is for the body and mind to be perfectly still and relaxed. Not only should the body be motionless and at ease, but the mind as well should be quiet, like the surface of a still lake. The result will be a deep and stable meditation that will extend into your meditation or be felt through the activities of your day. It goes without saying that the Shavasana will take some time to perfect. Now we have come to an end of the demonstration of our asanas. Let us enjoy a happy mental and physical health. All the limitations in us are self-imposed. When we have the capacity to get bounded by them, we also have the capacity to get liberated from them. This is evident from today's demonstration, where Sir, even though he has numerous responsibilities as well as ailments, is able to practice these yogasanas, and they only provide him with good health. Thank you for listening. On this Doctor's Day, we would like to encourage everyone to have a happy body, mind, and spirit, to enjoy better physical and mental health. Yoga is for everyone. Try and start today.
We hope you liked our video. Let us know in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. Press the bell icon to never miss an update. Hope to see you soon again.